Bonjour tout le monde. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Learn French with Madame. Today, we are going to talk about the verbs prendre and boire. We're going to first talk about the verb prendre, and then we're going to talk about verbs that conjugate just like prendre. Then we're going to talk about the verb boire. So on your screen, I have a verb chart note up. So we're going to go ahead and write down prendre to start us off. And prendre is the verb to take, or when you're talking about foods or drinks, it means to have. But only when you're talking about food or drink. All right. So I'm going to write my stem in green like the color of a plant stem. And then I'm going to write my ending in yellow. So that way it kind of looks like a flower. So we're first going to start off and conjugate this whole left side like we would a normal RE verb. So I'm going to drop that RE and write my stem. And then I'm going to add my ending on. So remember, for RE verbs, my ending is an S. So we have je prends. All right. Up next, we're going to do the same thing for to. All right. And then add your ending on, S. So tu prends. Il, elle, on. Remember, we just dropped that ending and we write our stem. And that is our verb. Remember, you don't add anything onto the end for il, elle, on. Nous and vous and il, elle, plural, this right-hand side of the chart is where it gets a little funky. You drop the DRE. So we're going to pretend that we don't like Dr. Dre and we're going to drop him. So DRE, we're going to drop. So our stem is going to be pay, air, N. And then we drop Dr. Dre, DRE. All right. We're going to add our normal ending onto the N, ONS. So prenons. For vous, we're going to do the same thing. Drop Dre and bring our stem down. And then we're going to add our normal ending onto the N, Z. Easy, because vous is so easy. For il, elle, plural, we're going to drop Dre and bring our stem down. All right. And now we need to add our ending onto the end. Now with il and elle plural, you actually have to add another N before your ending. So we're going to double that N and then add N, te. So prenne, il prenne, elle prenne. All right. So let's try to go through and say these. So I'm going to say it and then you're going to say it. I'm going to pause so that way you have time to say it. So first off, we have je prends, tu prends, il, elle, on prend, nous prenons, vous prenez, il, elle prennent. All right, so just a couple of reminders. Let's do some examples. Let's use the color pink. Why not? So we can say they take the bus. So let's say that the boys took the bus. So we're going to say ils prennent le bus. They take the bus. Like you guys, all the boys take the bus to the school. Next, we could say that the girl is having some coffee. So we could say la fille prend du café, and using that partitive. That's a good review because that's coming up on your quiz. So we have ils prennent le bus, they take the bus. La fille prend du café. The girl is having some coffee. All right, so let's talk about verbs that are similar to prendre. All right, so I switched my paper around. The first verb that we're going to talk about is the verb reprendre, up at the very top here, reprendre. So if I take away this re and I just have prendre, it means to take or to have with foods or drinks. And so I put re in front of it. It does just like what it does in English. It means re. So reprendre just means to retake or to have again. All right. So we're going to go through and conjugate just like we did for prendre. We're going to take off our ending and write our stem. And then let's add our ending on in pink this time. So we're going to add S onto the end. So je reprends, tu reprends. We got our stem written down. Now let's add our ending. Okay, and for il, elle, on, we're going to take our stem and bring it down. And remember, we don't add anything else. We leave it at just the stem. Helps if Madame spells that right. There's an R. All right, for new, remember, we're going to drop Dre. We don't like his music, so we're going to drop Dre. So we're going to write our stem. And now let's add our ending on, O-N-S. So reprenons. All right, next is vous. Add your ending on. Remember, vous, so easy. So we have reprenez. Write your stem for il and elle plural. And then add your ending on. Remember, double that N and then E-N-T. So we have je reprends, tu reprends, il, elle, on reprend, nous reprenons, vous reprenez, il, elle reprennent. All right. Our next verb that conjugates like prendre is the verb apprendre. The verb apprendre. And you are doing that right now. So apprendre is the verb to learn. Apprendre is the verb to learn. So we're going to apply the same rule. We're going to go through and it's just like prendre. So we're going to write our stem down and then add on those same endings. So we're going to write apprend. And we're going to add S onto the end. For tu, we're going to write apprend. Add your S. Il, elle, on. Remember, you just write the stem. For new, remember, we dropped Dre, so we're going to write our stem, apprend. Add your ending onto the end, O-N-S, so apprenons. Next is vous. We're going to write our stem, apprendre. And vous, so easy because it ends in an easy. Apprenez. And the last one for il and elle. Write your stem, double your N, add and te. So we have je apprends. Remember when we have those two vowels together, we get rid of this E and it becomes an apostrophe. So j'apprends, tu apprends, il, elle, on apprend, nous apprenons, vous apprenez, and ils, elles apprennent. So now, when you watch Madame's videos, you can say, oh, j'apprends le français. I'm learning French. I know you guys love it so much. Up next, we're going to talk about the verb comprendre. And this is the last verb that conjugates like the verb prendre. So this is our last one for cette partie, this part. So we have comprendre. It looks kind of like just what it is in English. Comprendre is the verb to understand. To understand. It's going to conjugate the exact same way. So all you're going to do is go through and write your stems and then add on your endings. So I'm going to write my stem down and then add my ending. So for RE verbs, remember it's just an S. For to, write your stem and add your ending. So je comprends and tu comprends. I understand, you understand. Up next, il, elle, on comprend. Remember, you just write your stem, you leave it alone. For nous, vous, il, elle, plural, remember we don't like Dr. Dre, so we're dropping the DRE and we're left with our stem, comprend. We're going to add our ending onto the N, ONS. Vous, drop the DRE. And vous is so easy because all we're going to do is add EZ. And our last one, il and elle, plural. Remember to double that last letter, so double the N and then add ENT. All right, so we have je comprends, tu comprends, il, elle, on comprend, nous comprenons, vous comprenez, il, elle comprennent. All right, so that's it for verbs that conjugate like the verb prendre. So I'm going to switch gears and we're going to talk about the verb boire. All right, so I got a brand new sheet of paper up here. We're going to talk about the verb boire. You've seen boire a lot before, but you just don't know how to conjugate it just yet. But that's okay because aujourd'hui, on va apprendre le verbe boire. Today, we're going to learn the verb boire. So up at the top of my paper, I'm going to write down boire. Boire is the verb to drink. Like you're going to drink some milk. All right. Now let's go through and we're going to go step by step because boire is a very irregular verb. It doesn't normally conjugate how you would think with an RE verb. So we're going to drop this RE first for this whole left side of our table, and we're going to write our stem, B-O-I. This brings Madame back to like the 90s. We used to spell boy like this. So B-O-I. Now we're going to add on our ending. We're going to add on our ending for je and tu. It's going to be an S. So je bois and tu bois. All right, and let's write out kind of how these are pronounced. That might be helpful. So je bois is like bois. Tu bois. And il, elle, on boit with a T. Bois. All right. So now on the right-hand side of our chart, that's where it gets a little confusing. So we're going to take off this I-R-E and we're going to left with bow. So that's going to be part of our stem. Actually, really just the B. For the whole right-hand side, it's going to start off with B-U-V. B-U-V. So B-U-V. Now we can add on our endings. O-N-S. So bouvons. 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 All right. For vous, we're going to take this B-U-V and bring it down. So B-U-V. And then vous is easy because it ends in E-Z. So it's bouvet. 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 Il and elle plural is going to have the same stem as il, elle, je, and tu. So it's going to have that B-O-I, but then we're going to mix part of the right-hand side and add a V. So it's a little bit of both sides, right? We've got the B-O-I from the left-hand side and the V from the right. So B-O-I-V is our stem, and our ending, and te. So this one is boive, boive, boive. Boive. All right, so let's go through and say these. I'm going to say them and pause, and when I pause, you should say them too. All right, so we're going to start off. Je bois. Tu bois. Il, elle, on boit. Nous buvons. Vous buvez. Ils, elles boivent. Nice. All right, let's do some examples, some examples. So let's use violet. Let's use purple. So we're going to say, je bois du café. So je bois du café. I am drinking some coffee. We could say, nous buvons du lait. We are drinking some milk. Next, vous buvez de la. I gotta think of something that's feminine. Let's do grenadine. Grenadine. I'm running out of paper. Je bois de la grenadine. I'll rewrite this up here in case you can't see it. De la grenadine is just water with pomegranate syrup. You're going to learn that here in our next set of vocab. And then we're going to do one last one. Elles boivent du jus d'orange. Elles boivent du jus d'orange. All right, so that's it for boire and prendre. Hopefully, it's not super confusing. The boire is going to be a little bit hard just to remember the different stems, but really just go through and remember that these ones are all B-O-I. Nous and vous is B-U-V, and il, elle, plural is a mix of the two. Hopefully, this isn't super hard, mais si vous avez des questions, if you have questions, envoyez-moi un email. C'est tout et à plus!